It's Takeover Wednesday. Besides all the things that some people have been doing trying to take over here. Of course, you know it's your premium Nigerian breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria. And Wednesday represents the very best of top-notch family entertainment experience. You know why? Because it's our Wonder Women edition. Yes, so we are always excited about this.
Yes,
welcome.
Yes, it's a whole lot of energy and love here on the show, and it only gets better and better every day. So my advice for you is to stay tuned for the next 1 hour, 45 minutes to catch a wondrous and fantastic edition. I like that. Fantastic edition of the show. Yes, and we have our fire breather, ego, you boom, one and only.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See ya.
Yes, and with me, Chef Belinda. Hey.
Sorry, that was what
Belinda.
I honestly thought of that song.
And I don't know the rest of the lyrics.
Singing is not your colleague.
I know it's not. How are you ladies doing this morning?
We're doing very well.
Very well, thank you. All right, so.
Yeah, so great vibes all through. Today's show is what we are offering, and an opportunity for us to put a 100-meter smile on your faces as you begin the day with us.
Now, you know, of course, that entertainment is what we are very good at, and we have been licensed to thrill you with the very best of quality television entertainment delivered for your viewing pleasure.
You're not repeating this.
Should I start again?
Yeah.
Don't worry, let's continue.
Now, don't let mental fears of worry and doubt take control of your day. Hold the vision and trust the process.
Yes, and when someone says, you can't do it, Joe, do it twice.
Hey!
And take pictures.
Yes.
Just make sure it's not a bad thing. Now, let's get this party started. My name is Mary Bashua Alimi.
And I am Tokwe Oloni. Now, remember, you can stream this show live at tvcentertainment.tv, on Facebook at TVC Connect. We have juicy gist. You know when the wondrous women are in town? We have so much we're talking about. So use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC to be a part of our conversation on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. What's our handle?
Yeah, that's at TVC Connect now.
Okay.
You should also remember you can watch us live from absolutely anywhere. And when we say anywhere, we mean anywhere across the world. All you have to do is download our app from the Play Store or iOS, okay? And then, of course, you can watch us.
Yeah, we're not private people. Please enter our market. Enter, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TV. Did I get it? I'm trying to be streets, guys. Trying to be streets. Okay, but we have a fully packed show that's going to be full throttle, and every moment is going to be mind-boggling. Now, let's check out what we have in store for you.
Yes. First, we have Elizabeth Onyema. She's dedicated her professional life to helping individuals achieve and maintain a healthy lifestyle across the globe. And today, she will be talking about something really interesting. We're looking at why do I feel so bloated?
And lastly on the show, we're going to be joined by Ola Yiwola Abiola, a certified professional mental health counselor, specialized in relationship and marriage counseling. This morning, we're going to be talking about something very interesting. I always like to say you want to stick around for it, because this is going to be the differences and dysfunctions to make a marriage work. Important to understand an individual differences and dysfunctions to make a marriage work. Do you want to make your marriage work? Do you want to plan to make your marriage work? You want to sit around and wait for this conversation.
Make your marriage work. Okay.
Do you plan to make your marriage work?
Do you even want your marriages to work?
Auntie, be coming down. What is it?
I'm so loving my single street.
Wow, interesting stuff. How
Good
you ladies
morning,
doing, by the
my
way?
neighbors.
How are you doing? Are you feeling all okay?
Okay.
Okay, so it's Wednesday. It's
Yes.
Wednesday. We're really excited about Wednesday, of course. There's a whole lot planned for you on the show today.
Good morning and welcome to the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Tokwe Oloni. Maybe Nigerians may not have to wait much longer to feel safe and secured again, as President Muhammadu Buhari has approved new security measures to be implemented across the country, especially in the southeast and south-south regions. Details of these new approaches to handling the security challenges are still kept under wraps, but the federal government insists this will stem the tide of insecurity and restore peace in the country. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
This security meeting holds for the third time in 11 days. It paints a clear picture of a country grappling with different forms of violence and threats to national security. The two previous meetings were inconclusive. But this time, resolutions were reached that will hopefully have far-reaching implications on the state of the nation. Currently, almost every region in the country grapples with its own kind of security worries. But the NSA was tight-lipped about details of what was discussed with Mr. President. He says this time they have taken the right steps to end the fast deteriorating situation.
Of course, we're in a situation in which we're fighting enemies that are not really known. The important thing is that the president has given us marching orders to deal physically with the emerging problems.
The Inspector General of Police, whose men have been deliberately targeted and killed in a new trend of violence that is becoming prevalent in the southeast and some other parts of the country, refused to disclose the newly approved security strategy that will be adopted in securing lives and property.
Security situation in the country, particularly in the southeast and south-south. We have some measures which we have outlined, and it has been approved by the council, and we will see how we can change the narrative within the quickest possible means to restore law and order.
For the armed forces, the marching order is to partner with other security agencies to tackle the widespread insecurity. They got assurances from the Commander-in-Chief that issues of manpower development, training, and provision of military hardware will be sorted as soon as possible. The ball is now in the court of the military to translate the outcome of the security meeting into real-time protection of citizens and defense of constitutional authority.
Operations that were conducted wherein a good number of the bandits were neutralized. Some of their leaders were also taken. You equally saw last week, the rescue operation that was undertaken. These are intelligence-led operations. It's not intended to be too loud about them.
For now, the killings have not stopped. The kidnapping for ransom has also increased, and armed bandits are operating almost unhindered. President Muhammadu Buhari has come under pressure and is facing a barrage of criticism from helpless Nigerians that rely on the government to keep them safe. Perhaps the outcome of this security meeting will be the one and lasting solution to the frightening height of insecurity in the country. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
That's all we can take on the news update for this hour. Welcome back. Now it is time for us to take a look at the headlines in the papers this morning, and we are starting with Daily Trust. Southern governors to Buhari convene national dialogue. Conference needles Tanko Yakasi. President should honor growing call, says Don. They have secessionist agenda, says Abdullahi Adamu. Federal government okays new security measures for Southeast and South-South. A photo story here showing the Southern governors at the end of the security meeting held in Delta State Government House yesterday. How I was confirmed leader of Tijani, ex-Emir Sanusi. Heavy downpour kills 100 cattle in Plateau. Widow wants lecturer prosecuted for raping her daughter. Federal government increases health workers' doctor retirement age to 65. That's what we're taking on the Daily Trust, and we're moving on to the next paper, which is Daily Times. This morning we have Southern governors ban open grazing, demand confab state police fair appointments, and others. Insecurity, Yoruba groups fault police on IPOB's alleged plan to attack Lagos. Federal government moves to adjust petroleum pricing template. Stock exchange, Nigerian stocks add 34 billion as bull runs continue. Next up, we have, next paper we're going to be looking at this morning is The Guardian. 17 Southern governors ban open cattle grazing. Photo story here still about the Southern governors meeting at the government house in Asaba yesterday. MASSOP deplores presidential shoot-on-site order in Southeast. Now, moving on from The Guardian, we're taking this day still on the Southern governors' call for national dialogue, restructuring, and open grazing. Trailblazer here on the photo story. Might want to grab a copy of This Day to get more information on what the news and the headlines are, but we are moving on to The Vanguard. Insecurity, Southern governors meet, offer 10-point solution. Photo story here still from the Southern Governors meeting in Asaba. Dare, we have lost the champion. Adeboye Dare buried amid tears. Of course, that's from Pastor Dare from the RCCG. Apapa gridlock, confusion as touts hijack traffic control. NSIA posts 160 billion naira income, says Managing Director Orji. And that's what you get on the cover of the Vanguard. Now moving on to Nigerian Tribune. Still on the South Governors meeting in Asaba, banning open grazing and demanding restructuring. Photo story here still from the meeting. You might want to grab a copy of either of your favorite newspapers. You will still get full information on that. Insecurity, we are considering restructuring, not separation, says federal government. Says 40 terror financiers for prosecution. Judiciary to be unbundled. Buhari approves new security measures for Southeast and South-South. To the top of the paper, we have how 2023 presidency is splitting the zones. Edo PDP falls out with Obaseki, wants deputy governor to resign for harmonization. And finally, we have Lasso VC, no to non-native Omo Eko Pataki group says. Might want to grab a copy of Nigerian Tribune or any of your favorite newspapers to stay informed on all that is happening across the country. Come back, people. Wait, I want to do something with your face.
What did you want to do?
That.
you know why I was chuckling because of what you said about your smoothie. Drink your smoothie now.
Well,
Why
I'll take
drink
it
your
later on.
This MM can form prima
As in,
well, I'll take
okay,
it. She's
like,
Agbero.
Hello, I'm not Agbero.
Yeah, like
No,
prima
I'm
proper
not.
tout.
I'm like what you see is what you get. There's no like faking anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but our gist today is
I don't know. Are you warming up for
yes,
the gist?
I'm warming up for it because I'm sure people have done
when MM
weird
launches
things.
gist,
Yes.
it is gist.
MM said that.
So I recently thought of something funny that happened recently to me.
Oh, okay.
And so I recently heard from this aunt of mine. I haven't heard from her in a really, really long time.
Okay.
And I remember when I was in a relationship with my husband at the time, and I got to spend a few days with my aunts, with that particular aunt. And for some reason, I did not want her to meet my husband.
Okay. Why?
Because they were like in the same age group.
So you thought she'll snatch your husband from you?
So
No way.
Some people can think deep and far and wide.
I kind of make sure like that meeting did not happen.
Till after the wedding. You see? Which brings us to our
you cannot just take chances.
Wow.
So which actually brings us to our topic. What's the weirdest thing that you have ever done
I've
to
not stopped
protect
my
your
auntie from
relationship
beating my
or your marriage?
I don't think
I can't be the only one on this ship,
You're
guys.
the only
You
one.
have to join me, please.
This kind of shit,
is
she
only
must
you.
definitely be the only one. The kind of fear that will make you decide that your aunts will not meet your...
That means
That you just never know.
wow.
You just never know.
Like, okay, your aunt is single.
Yeah, she of course.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So
Now we
and then
understand.
she has the qualities that your husband would like.
Maybe.
Else you would
She might be an advanced
Yeah,
version of
see,
MM.
there's something-
So
there's
MM was
something
and she
scared.
might be calm.
See, Tokwe, there's something about the heart. Ah, wow,
And
wow.
she might be peaceful.
Wow.
She might be peaceful.
You said
seriously,
that.
Tokwe?
You said that. See, there's something about the heart. Yeah, you might think that this is what you want. And then you now see something else. And your heart just seems to
And
be,
you
you
felt
know,
like your husband
nurging
did something.
towards it. Just glide into it. You don't even know what he does
So you have to help
gliding.
his heart.
So,
Protect his
I
heart.
Oh my
needed
God,
to,
I can't
you know,
believe this. Like, so you think...
I love it.
Oh, God, these ladies. But seriously,
I know
what-
you do. I know you do.
I know it's something you can do now.
It's funny enough for me. That's a thing. I've not done anything.
Oh, God.
Get
I've not
out.
protected any
You.
relationship.
Babe, even
But
before, but
maybe
you would have done one for some person. Maybe it eventually didn't work out, but I'm sure you'd have done something for somebody. At least
Off the
once.
top of my head. But I fought for my
Agbero.
relationship.
Talking about
As in
Agbero.
fought with another lady.
Not physical fights.
like-
I take a number and called.
Are
What
you
did you say
serious?
to her?
Yes. And then I'm like, I was very professional about this.
You said you're professional.
Very professional. I didn't do it like a town. I did it like some rich kid.
Okay, so what did you say?
This is Tokwe. And then she's like, yes. I'm like, so I'm this person's girlfriend, and I kind of like have a problem with the way you guys talk. And I'm like, I'm sure you're in a relationship, and I know how you would feel if a particular girl keeps calling your boyfriend and calling your boyfriend. And she's like, okay. I'm like, I would appreciate it if you like tone it down. Do you know what Auntie told me? I guess you should have that conversation with your boyfriend and not me.
Baby girl is a whole vibe.
Yes.
Hey, that's why you did not introduce your auntie to me. The whole vibe. I just say, vibe. Why did you vibe your auntie?
Exactly. Maybe everybody gets to that each
Because
other.
we had this conversation this morning,
Yeah.
where I said that I would never understand how women would rather deal with the other woman instead of dealing with the person
so you
you're in a
rather
relationship
hide the
with.
person.
No, but
Yes.
then I had dealt with my boyfriend, dealt with him, uncle didn't want to be dealt with. So I said, okay, I'll deal
Let
with
me
two
take
of you
it.
and deal with. And after that call,
You looked at your life.
Where you even need to deal with yourself. But Mary, have you ever done anything weird for a relationship?
I honestly can't think of any. I've been trying to process this.
will
That
come, no
have I
worries.
done anything really
You've not
outrageous?
protected your husband from your auntie.
No. I don't know. I can't think of any. Honestly, no, it's not because of that. I'm sure I've done some, but I just can't think of any.
We'll talk about it when we
In second banter.
Second banter.
Yeah.
But for now, please go to our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Tell us the weirdest thing you've done to protect your relationship. Have you been like MM? Have you been like me? I went to go and call the person.
We need to take this break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. It's Wake Up Nigeria.
Welcome back. You're on to Wake Up Nigeria. And with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef
Belinda.
I
know that's what you're
I
doing, so let
love
me
that
help you.
song. And every time I see you, it reminds me of it. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Doing great.
Oh, you always have this burst of energy that you bring with any time you come on the show. All right, so what are we making today?
Yes, this morning we are
Going
making
loca.
exotic concoction.
Exotic. I should tell you that
Exotic concoction
this
rice.
recipe is about to be lit, people. Now let's talk about the ingredients.
Okay, for the ingredients, we have our rice, yes, which is the main, and we have all the protein put together. There's fish, there's beef chunk, we have pomo there.
Sorry, say that again.
Beef chunks, there's chunks.
Beef chunks.
Chunks of
Chunks,
beef.
oh,
yes,
chunks.
chunks of beef. And we have pomo.
Okay.
We have all this river food, stockfish,
Dried
dried
prawns.
prawn, crayfish, pounded. Then we have dried catfish and smoked fish. So you see, you know when you say concussion, what comes to mind is those local poor man food. When then there's nothing at home, just combine everything you have. But this one is exotic because there's everything at home. But we want concussion.
Yes.
Eh?
This is exactly what we want to eat.
Yes.
And it's quite a coincidence, like I told you. I made this weekend because then I'm like, okay,
I tend
so
to just be thinking,
no
what should
stew,
we do?
no. I ain't doing no stew, no curry sauce,
jollof,
none of that.
fries.
We are going local.
Local,
And then my husband was asking me, babe, what's going on today? I'm like, hey, okay, I am taking you back.
I know it actually
So
goes
those
on nice.
days, where, I remember then growing up where there'll be no vegetable oil and then you have to use palm oil to make rice.
There's no meat, just collect the crayfish you have from the many crayfish,
Just
dust it inside.
put
and all
everything
that,
in. All right, so let's talk about the process for our meal this morning.
Yes. We will start by we have our water there. So we'll start by washing this fish.
Okay.
You open it up. Now I want with that one and I give you this morning. So you open it up.
Chef
and
Belinda,
you have to clean the
have
fish.
you seen my nails though?
So you got you not cook, you will cook. Let me move it closer to you, because clean the fish, open them up. After then you wash your nails.
I'm getting emotional.
So we wash them with hot
Okay, let's
water.
get cooking.
Now
Let's
you're
tell them
talking.
that we used to
Now you're
cook too.
talking.
Yeah.
Whether nail or no nail, you will cook it.
All right, if you're just joining us on the show today, this is Chef Belinda, and this morning we are making concussion rice.
Exotic
concussion rice.
Yeah.
Well, how could I forget? On your screen are the ingredients, guys. So please, go through them. Try not to miss out on any of the ingredients. And you do not have to have all of the proteins in your rice.
Whatever you have, just
the idea
enjoy
of concussion basically is just
you have at home, combine them together,
just
and
put
then
everything
make a
together
good meal.
and
That's
make
it.
a good meal.
Yes.
What's most important is it gets into your belly and fills you
And it's
up.
tasty. It must be sweet, oh.
That's why we are here for you.
Yes.
That's why we're here for you. And in case you'd like to check up on some of our previous episodes of our cooking, of course, you can go to our YouTube page at TVC Connect. Yes. And of course, you can catch up on all of our recipes, all of the recipes that we've had here on the show. So first, I say that we are frying up, we're heating up our vegetable oil. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll fry up these ones now.
And then what goes in next?
The onions, ginger, garlic follows, and then the peppers. Mix them together. You know, it's concoction. It's a one-pot food.
Yes, I noticed that we are not parboiling your rice.
No, we're not parboiling. Just wash it and put inside. Turn
everything.
Everything
Cook.
Once it boils, it done.
Sharp.
Yes, sharp, something.
And now let's talk about our efiri.
Yes.
That's why I was looking for efiri this weekend. I no see.
Me too. I didn't see efiri. I don't know what happened to efiri. So I quickly went to our curry leaf, and go and used it. You know.
All right.
Curry leaf can be used.
Okay, so I guess this is last thing going into the.
Yeah, very last.
All right, fantastic stuff happening here on the show, and of course here in the kitchen. But hey, we've got some interesting conversation happening next on the couch with Mary. Hello, Mary.
Thank you very much, MM. Exotic and concussion. Makes you wonder if you've been cooking jollof rice the right way. Okay, so it's time for us to have a conversation on nutrition. And I'm going to ask her something about concussion rice as well. We have Elizabeth Onyema, a lady who has dedicated a professional life to helping individuals achieve and maintain a healthy lifestyle across the globe. Now, with a background in banking and finance, Elizabeth is a certified advanced clinical weight loss specialist from the London Health Sciences Academy and a student of public health. In a 7-year career, she has been pivotal to the health journey of over 2,000 clients. We're talking about working with Nigerians and non-Nigerians across the UK, USA, Canada, Kenya, and the Caribbean. Now, today, she joins us to talk about why do I feel so bloated? I can see you pecking up. Almost everyone experiences this,
yes.
But it's such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you very much. And indeed, you're very right. I would say that if I were to get like maybe 10 calls from prospective clients, maybe in a day, I will tell you categorically that at least 9 of them would complain and say, I'm always bloated, I'm always constipated. It is very normal for me to hear things like that. And it isn't strange, actually, because the kinds of foods that trigger bloating and constipation, most of them, I would say, would obviously encourage weight gain and other health problems. Now, talking about bloating itself, what is the meaning of bloating?
Before you even talk about bloating,
okay,
I'm trying as much as possible, because I know we have several digestive issues.
Yes.
So I'm trying as much as possible to have us established, the digestive issues established first.
Yes.
Before we even narrow it down to
bloating. Okay,
so let's
like
talk about digestive issues in general.
So when we're talking about digestive issues, constipation is one of them. Acid reflux is one of them. Heartburn. We also have irritable bowel syndrome. We have the bloating we just talked about, you know. For irritable bowel syndrome, that's more like a person who has either extreme diarrhea or extreme constipation. They're always dancing. In fact, such people are actually in a whole lot of distress.
To mix up bloating and constipation.
Yes.
Yeah, so as you're defining bloating, you also need to clarify that.
Constipation,
so
yes.
we get which is which.
Yes, makes sense. Now, the thing about it is that bloating, when you hear the word bloating, you're thinking of gas.
Yeah.
So it obviously involves overproduction of gas, you know, right there in our stomach. Or maybe like a problem or like an issue with maybe like a digestive issue that involves that ends up making our digestive system muscles, you know, not just work properly or just act properly. So what you get in the end is this reaction of stuffiness, you know, you feel stuffed, you feel tight. Some people eat very little amount of food and they just can't tell that they are bloated. It can be very uncomfortable. It can be very painful for some people too, you know, and all that. I know at my heaviest, whenever I get to think of how I feel now as compared to the way I felt when I was very heavy, when I was really, really overweight, I would say that the one feeling that I am glad I no longer have is this bloating feeling, this feeling of bloating. It's very uncomfortable for people who have it. Now, constipation, on the other hand, actually has more to do with irregular bowel movements. So a person who doesn't go to toilet often and then you keep eating and eating food will definitely at a point in time, you know, get constipated because he's not passing it out. You know the way food should go. Food go in, body breaks down nutrients, digestion takes place, excretion takes place and all that. And then for some funny reasons, the person can't pass out too. Yes, the person experiences constipation. But people tend to use bloating and constipation together. Now, this is the thing. Bloating is one of the issues that a person would experience when he's constipated.
Okay.
Do you get the connection
so
now?
We can say that bloating is a byproduct
yes,
of constipation.
So
no wonder it's easy to mix them all.
Yes.
Okay.
So most people who will tell you that I'm bloated will also tell you I'm constipated. But the reason why they're actually constipated and bloated is because they are constipated. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
So now let's focus on bloating.
Okay, now good. So for us to now talk about the things that trigger bloating, we've now established the reason why people get bloated. And it is very clear. Once you hear anything concerning your digestive system, then know that it is definitely something that you put in your mouth that triggers that feeling of bloating. Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk about the reasons or the possible things that can trigger bloating. We've talked about constipation already. Yes. Now, what are the foods that trigger constipation? Last week while I was here, I talked about good carbs and bad carbs. And I talked in particular about fiber as a part of a carb that is necessary for picking out healthy carbs. Now, one of the functions of fiber, now we have two types of fiber. We have what we call the soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber, a part of a carbohydrate, gives bulk to our poop.
Okay.
So it gives bulk to our poop, while insoluble fiber helps to pull it out of the body.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So a person who eats foods, simple carbs that do not contain fiber, would find it difficult to use the loo or have a regular bowel movement because they are obviously not eating a fiber-rich food. Insoluble fiber, in clear terms, can be explained as, you know, sometimes, I always say this sometimes, like when you go to the loo and use the toilet, obviously, excrete or something, some people notice that they can see their green veggies
inside.
Yes, and that's because it is actually more of insoluble fiber. So its function is to pull it out of the body. So the moment your diet doesn't have vegetables, then be certain that, or fiber is not rich in fiber, be certain that that person may experience bloating from time to time.
Okay.
People who do not drink water as well, hydration, when you're not properly hydrated, such a thing can actually lead to constipation. So you're eating, you're not drinking water, you can't obviously pass through very well. That can also lead to bloating. Now, leaving constipation behind, let's now talk about other things.
So we cannot talk about other things today,
okay,
unfortunately.
Okay.
However, I'm pretty sure our viewers can check your page on social media to even learn more, maybe ask you questions even about how to find solutions, because I was hoping we could talk about fertility.
Yes.
There isn't enough.
We talked about fiber, though.
Yes, yes. So take note of that. Eat more fiber. Thank you so much for being
Thank
on
you
the
so
show,
much.
Elizabeth.
Thank you.
All right, we have to take this break. We'll be back shortly. It's Wake Up Nigeria.
All right, guys, welcome to the kitchen. With me this morning is Chef Belinda.
Yes,
and this morning we are making exotic
concoction rice.
You see the emphasis on the exotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's quickly run through the ingredients and then take us where you are right now.
Okay. In here we have our pepper mix and our diced tomatoes. I'm tying them with vegetable oil now.
Okay.
Then before we had onions and garlic and ginger. So we had dried prawns and crayfish. They are all here boiling. So in here we have our bomo and meat beef chunks. These ones have been pre-cooked, so they will come in later.
Okay.
Then we have our fish in warm water to remove any sandy effect and all that. This has been washed, our fish, and our rice, of course. Then we have our leaves. This is basil leaves. So you can eat any herb of your choice. I wanted to use parsley, curry, anything I just find. But since I got basil leaf, I think I like it.
Okay.
Nigerian curry leaf, you know.
Wow.
The curry leaf.
She says our Nigerian curry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Curry leaf.
Okay. So is that almost ready?
Yes. This one is almost ready. So I'll now introduce this other mende into it.
it.
Yeah.
We're not playing no, when we said we are making exotic concoction rice, guys. We were not joking.
I washed the rice. You see, it's not parboiled. I'll just that's water boiling. I'll introduce the water inside. Then wash the rice and put there.
Okay.
Boom. Our exotic concoction.
Boom. Everything is set. Everything is going sengemenge.
You know.
Okay, so I see our dry fish is going in right now.
Yes, our dry fish is going in.
There's a certain flavor that this fish gives to your meal. I mean, I can't get enough of it. It's quite unfortunate that it's so expensive. But
because it's exotic, we have to eat it here.
Yes, we have to eat it. Because okay, so we're just gonna let that comment. This is so rich, Belinda. This is so rich. I mean, wow, that looks really, 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 really good. There's still so much more to come on the show later on, guys. It's the top of the hour. Stay with us. We'll be right back in a minute.
Welcome to the second hour of the most exciting breakfast show on the planet. I said it.
Hey, keep saying it.
Yes. Now, the first hour just went by, and we ladies have had a blast. Yes. Remember, we have remaining 45 minutes to continue to put smiles on your faces.
Yes, that 1,000-meter smile. Just put a smile on your face.
No matter condition.
Believe me, it gladdens our hearts to see you smile, and we are definitely excited because there is still a lot more to come on the very best breakfast show on television.
Yes.
Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah, of course, we have MM and Chef Belinda in the kitchen cooking up an amazing storm. My stomach cannot wait for breakfast.
Your tummy is rumbling. And so is ours.
Yes, and before we progress, I want to give a quick birthday shout out to the husband of our producer, Halima. Her husband's name is
blushing.
I'm sure she's smiling. She's doing like this. Yes, a very happy birthday to you, Barrister Tosi Adeyeye. We love Halima, so that means we love you too. Thank you for staying with us.
Don't love him. You want Halima to come
down. We love you with the love of...
We don't love you the way Halima loves you.
I didn't say that.
Halima loves you. It's his birthday. What's your business with loving you?
I tried not to make us look funny on TV, but Mary had to show us who she really is. I'm the decent one. She's not the prim and proper one.
I don't... Wait, between both of us.
Say happy birthday. Let's say happy birthday. Yes.
Happy birthday, Barrister Tosi Adeyeye. Wishing you the very best.
Yes.
Yes. While Halima will just keep smiling and stopping my... If you say anything to my hair again.
Focus.
You're Joe Boy now. Moving on. It is definitely the right mix here. Properly stirred to get your attention, just like we did now.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're wondering what's wrong with these two girls.
Yeah, now talking about stirring. I know my appetite is on a roll with the exotic concoction.
She likes food too much. See the person talking about being even perfect. Oh, please. Anyway, my name is Mary Bashua Alimi.
And I am Tokwe Olowoniyo. Now remember, you can use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria across all social media platforms to be a part of the conversation. Are you going to be like MM that will protect your husband from your relative?
Or are you going to be like Tokwe?
What is it?
Who will call the girl and say, I am warning you. I don't see a Tokwe doing that now anyway. So.
Yes. Sure,
this girl now. Dangbana. Fine girl, Dangbana. All right, on a more serious note though, you can watch us from absolutely anywhere in the world by downloading our app on Android and iOS, okay? So make sure you do that, okay?
Yes. Now, today's episode of our relationship, Olayiwola Abiola, a certified professional mental health counselor with specialization in relationship and marriage counseling. Today, he'll be talking to us about a very important and interesting topic, which is overcome individual dysfunctions, how important it is to understand individual differences and dysfunctions to make a marriage work. Like I said in the first hour, do you want to make your marriage work? Do you want to plan to make your marriage work?
Are you the expert?
To make your marriage work?
Are you the expert? As the conversation started, let MM get there first.
Where am I going?
I saw something very funny. Very funny. I couldn't. MM's leg did not reach the ground. Stop forcing it. Stop forcing.
I'm not forcing anything.
Papa, what is your own?
But I am sitting where I'm
What is your own? She's sitting properly.
Okay.
Girl, I like the way you're sitting, lady. Like, don't let anybody...
So this is like a subtle diss. In other words, you're saying that I am short.
No, we already established that fact.
Okay, just so you know, I am...
Small.
Not small.
Yeah,
petite.
I'm petite.
I think you are short.
I'm not short. I am petite.
Short people say they are not short.
So, but what is your
It was so
problem?
exciting. I was
Must you
wondering why her
always-
leg had not reached.
No, but it
Will you
is.
leave my
At
legs
least the
alone?
heels are
Just
there. It's the
the
second one that is
heels.
not reaching. And she's sitting well.
And you know what? Whoever made or invented shoes with
They made it
heels,
for you.
may the good Lord bless you.
But you know they didn't
And
make it
bless
for women,
I
Sha.
will use this.
They
clean-
initially made it for men.
Yes, well,
Before
unfortunately
it finally
so.
evolved
Before eventually,
to
yeah,
be women.
to women.
You know,
They
men
had
that were
MM
short, that
they
were
had
marrying
MM
women
in
twice
Yeah, they
their
had
height.
me in mind.
I did see a post
What we
yesterday
don't make up
of
for
this-
in height, we
I
make
think
up
it was
for.
it Southeast
In
Sudan.
what?
Tall. Wow.
Please
Wow.
go on there.
The tallest
Southeast Sudan,
men,
uh-huh.
Southeast Sudan. I and Mike were looking at the post yesterday, and I told Mike, these people don't sleep on 6x6 bed.
No,
What's
of
that?
course not. They have to have
Southeast
specially
Sudan.
constructed
They are the tallest
shoes,
men.
beds. In
Yes.
fact, in some cases, doorways.
I'm sure.
It's very, very
Maybe
weird.
roofs as well. Imagine MM beside one of them.
Why did we all go silent?
Welcome to the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Tokwe Oluwaniyo. 7 children and 2 adults have been killed in a shooting at a school in the Russian city of Kazan. It is believed the children were 8th graders aged around 15. 21 other people, mostly children, were injured. And in his reaction, Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin spoke of great sorrow, while Sar-suffering leader Rustam Minikhov described the attack as a major tragedy. President Vladimir Putin has said he would review the country's gun control laws. Meanwhile, a 19-year-old suspect has been detained. As the security meeting was holding at the presidential villa, governors of southern states were also meeting in Delta State to brainstorm on how best to end the security issues ravaging the country. After a 3-hour meeting, the governors unanimously banned open grazing in their states. They also called on the federal government to quickly convoke a national conference to address various issues threatening the unity of the country. Ikena Amechi has this report.
17 states make up the southern part of Nigeria, and they have all had a fair share of the rising insecurity confronting the nation. As they arrive for this crucial meeting in Asaba, they are concerned for the worsening state of insecurity in the state, and the country at large is not in doubt. Only 2 of the 17 state governors were absent, and 2 others were represented by their deputies. After pleasantries, it is time for serious business as they went into a closed-door session. After about 3 hours, the governors emerged with a communique read by the forum's chairman on what they want the federal government to do to end the plethora of challenges bedeviling the country.
The federal government should convoke a national dialogue as a matter of urgency. The meeting resolved that open grazing of cattle be banned across southern Nigeria.
Nothing was off the table as governors expressed their commitment to the unity of Nigeria, where everyone matters.
The meeting agreed that the progress of the nation requires an urgent and bold step be taken to restructure the Nigerian Federation, leading to the evolution of state police, review of revenue formula in favor of subnationals, and creation of other institutions which legitimately advance our commitment to and practice of true federalism.
At the end, they left as they came, but with renewed hope of presenting a united front despite party difference.
After coming up with these resolutions, after the about 3 hours closed-door meetings, the governors hope that the federal government will heed to these their demands for the unity and peace of this country. Ikenna Amechi, CVC News, Asaba.
That's all we can take on the news update for today on Wake Up Nigeria.
Welcome back. You're on to Wake Up Nigeria. Next stop is our relationship segment. And Olaiwola Abiola is a certified professional mental health counselor with a specialization in relationship and marriage counseling. He uses his background in counseling and psychology to empower individuals to transform their personal, relationship, and professional lives. A psychodynamic and person-centered specialist with a special interest in helping couples overcome their individual dysfunctions. And today, he'll be talking to us about how important is it to understand individual differences and dysfunctions to make a marriage work. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me once again. I'm so excited to be here.
Glad to have you. Now let's just delve right into today's discussion.
No problem. Let's do that.
Differences.
Yeah.
The male and female gender, first of all, are we have different roles that we play, and we are wired differently. Now, coming together to be together, that's a different ball game altogether, because like bringing your baggage and I'm bringing my baggage. So first of all, let's highlight what these differences are.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to say variety is the spice of life.
Yes.
Imagine the world filled with only men. How probably boring, quote and unquote, just of color. Yes. So variety is the spice of life, and opposite attract. So beautiful. Men generally are outwardly driven.
Okay.
Women are more inwardly driven. Men communicate basically for information and to communicate ideas. But for women communicate basically to express their emotions and their feelings, so to say. Men are like computer, garbage in, garbage out. They are more logical in terms of their wiring. Women are more intuitive. They're like radar. They pick things from afar. And these are one of the things that people have issues in their marriage, because at times a man is saying, my wife is a witch. Because each time I share anything with her, I say, no, I don't believe it. You shouldn't do it. Eventually, the man goes ahead to do it, and the thing turns out to work. Yeah. This woman, because he has already done his own part, the logical part, which is to add 1 + 1 together to give 2. But the woman says, okay, I don't feel you should do this. I don't feel you should do this. Okay, why? Tell me why. She can't tell, because a woman is designed to be a feeler. By their nature, women are nurturers. So they have this capacity to pick things from afar. They may not be able to explain it, but so if a man understands how this works, all he needs to do is, honey, I've done all this, what do you feel about it? Then we can come together, because 2 are better than 1 anyway. So our differences are there. They are important. They are supposed to bring us together, to make the marriage better, not to separate us.
You know, that's the irony in it. Differences bringing us together to make things work. Yeah. So first of all, a lot of people do not even realize that there are differences, that these differences, because people are just, okay, you know what, this is how I am. I can't change. And that's where that's where compromise, conflict also, you know, comes in. So first, now, how do we reconcile some of these differences?
Okay. Now, people also need to understand this, that there's who you are, and there's the kind of person you need to be to make your marriage work or your relationship work. I also understand the place of the dysfunctions that we all bring into. Every one of us have one issue or the other coming. In fact, I used to tell people that the problem people have in marriage is not the problem that most of the people didn't start in the marriage. Actually started in their childhood dysfunctions. Okay. So when you come into marriage and you are now together, because you are not supposed, it's not just about you, it's about 2 people coming together to work to achieve a particular aim. So what you need to do is to come, okay, who do I need to become? And that's why also during courtship, during dating period, is an opportunity for you to interview. Most of the time people go out to have intercourse. Instead of interview, you need to know how much of this person that I can live with. Because when you get married, what you'll be left with, you will be left with either to adapt and to adjust to that person, because you actually can't change anyone actually. Until that person makes up his or her mind to change, you can't change anybody. But in a marriage, for marriage to work, that's why I have to tell people that the emotional giz-giz, the emotional butterfly in my belly will never keep any marriage, but knowledge will. So when you come to the point in your marriage and discover that, look, our differences and our dysfunctions are affecting my marriage, then you need to look at it, admit it, and accept it. This is who I am. Okay, what do I need to change to become better in the light of making my marriage work? So those are the things people need to do.
Now, talking about dysfunctions, what are those deal breakers that people should look out for, even before, you know, committing in that relationship?
Okay. Now, dysfunction generally are impaired or abnormal functioning of people in a relationship. Yeah. Now, most of them, these have been informed through poor or bad parenting. at times through major, what we call significant childhood traumatic event, like a child going through probably an incestual relationship, rape, yes, death of a parent, death of a loved one, abandonment, neglect, and things like that. So when people grow up in that kind of environment, they've already been damaged. A child growing up in an environment of domestic violence, such a child is already damaged in terms of his or her psyche, our mentality, and our world outlook. So what people need to look out for. Now, nobody is perfect. Everybody is working towards perfection. And we can't judge everyone because our individual realities differ. Now, our reality, as I said, differs. So you need to look at it. So towards working towards marriage, you need to come to a point in your life that, look, what are the must have and should have? Most of the time, people pay attention on the ephemerals. People don't pay attention
to the nitty-gritty.
Yes, the nitty-gritty. What actually do you need? Do you need someone? So when you begin to see some signs, for example, domestic violence, even before getting married, such an issue, look, I think you're a good person, but I think you need help. You need to go check up yourself and get some help to deal with this issue. Because if you carry on to marriage with the hope, I'm going to change him, I'm going to change her, you're not a converter. Nobody can change anyone unless that person decides to change. So people need to watch out for such issues and be able, if you're married and there are issues like that, one of the things people need to also do is to admit it. You need to admit that these are the things I'm doing that's not proper. These things are not healthy for my relationship. And in as much as affecting your partner and you profess love to that person, you should pay attention to such. Number two, we also need to be empathetic because now you're married. If you listen to your spouse and get to see what his or her background has been, instead of judging the person, you come to a place of empathy. Then you also probably want to consult a therapist or a counselor. And because these are the things we deal with on a day-to-day basis anyway. Because marriages are what they are because of the dysfunctions that people bring in from their childhood or from the kind of parenting they had into their relationship.
And it could either make or mar the relationship.
Definitely.
Now let's talk about the role of the partner. What role does this partner play in a case of a dysfunctional partner where you're married to someone who has some certain dysfunctions from his or her past? What role does you as the partner in the relationship, what role should you play in dealing with this dysfunctional partner? Yeah.
So basically, I think one of the things people need to do, we need to show understanding.
Okay.
Now, I'm talking about in marriage context now.
Yes.
Even outside marriage, but I want to tailor my argument to marriage because I believe in love. I believe marriage should work. I believe marriage should stand the test of time.
Okay.
Because basically, that's what I'm trained to do, to help people make the best out of their seemingly troubled marriage.
Okay.
And I've seen people move from dysfunction to functionality. So basically, people need to show some level of understanding and empathy, as I said earlier on, and some level of compromise. And the party that is dysfunction also needs to admit the fact that, look, I know I have this issue. There's need to not to sweep issues under the carpet and try to just
deal with
you need to deal with it. Do I need to see a counselor? Do you need to encourage them to go see a counselor and things like that? You should stand by them and give them the necessary support.
Thank you so much, Mr. Olaiwola. This has been a very, very insightful conversation.
Thank you so much.
And because we've taken so much from you, we are going to replenish all that we have taken from you this morning. So we'd like you to please go into the kitchen and yes, let's fuel you up. So please.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Welcome to the kitchen.
Welcome to the kitchen.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Pieces.
Wow.
Yes.
This is
wow. You came with very high appetite.
Great to have you in the studio.
Yeah, it's good to have me, to have you guys. I mean, you guys have really cracked me up there.
Oh, okay.
Don't let people know what's
Okay. Just not talk about your banters behind the camera. Okay, sorry.
We have home training.
Lips.
So this
Chef
is
Belinda.
Yes, and she prepared exotic concussion rice.
So this is not your regular concussion rice.
It's exotic.
Please dig into it.
Yes.
Yes, please. We want to have your opinion. That's avocado, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me start with this.
So he's not going to give you a dysfunctional system.
Exotic indeed.
Exotic
This is going to keep the wife in the home.
Oh, yeah, now try with the avocado, the rice and the avocado. Let's see. No, with the rice.
The rice will mix.
It's the combination
It's a mix
in his mouth, Abi.
We are mix and match.
How does it taste?
It's nice.
Cool and peppery. Exactly.
Give us a
take the cup closer.
Rate from 1 to 10, I guess.
Yes. Easy person.
She's doing shakara.
This is nice.
-9 now.
To go for 11 over 10.
Wow! Gang.
It's nice. Nice. Chef Belinda, you try. This is nice.
We sang it at the beginning.
I don't know this one, but Belinda.
Belinda.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chef Belinda. It's almost a norm. We can't even overhype you.
MM, we can't wait to join us here. We can't wait to. She's feeling like she's missing your
Emma, you aren't so short after all.
Can you imagine?
You've got company.
Girl, have you met this cute, all shades of cuteness?
It's okay.
Thank you so much for being a part of the show today, to all our contributors, to our guests, Chef Belinda, and to you too for watching us. Have a fantastic day.
See you tomorrow.
Happy holidays.
Bye-bye.